Could you share with us what state the Schindler business and the Schindler executive leadership team was in when you took over as CEO of Schindler?
Schindler was, as it always was, a very solid company. At the same time, the job of a CEO is to find potential.
How did you go about unleashing that potential?
Well, first of all, we had a good talk with the team. We started off by deciding we're not going to leave this meeting unless we found the way we should work better as a team. And we came up with what we call a team charter. We really ended up defining our own team rules. We call this the Davos Charter because it was in Davos, and we all signed it by hand. That was step number one. Step number two, once we defined the rules, then we had to enforce them. And then, of course, putting things on paper is one, changing behaviors is another. And then I realized that perhaps having an external intervention, or rather external support, would have been useful.
You talked about the charter as a step one, and we'll talk about the other steps after. But how did you get to that solution together?
The solution that we worked out together was very much one that we developed. It wasn't off the shelf. It was really sharing my views about what the company needed and comparing them with the experience of the Egon Zehnder partners, James and Philip, understanding what was their experience with other companies and how they could then build in sharing those with us and combining them with our needs. And then we came with a plan that was really a step-by-step approach, whereby we first worked on the team dynamics and then progressively evolved towards checking how those team dynamics work with individuals. And then with a combined bottom-up and top-down, including 360 assessments that Egon Zehnder helped us to conduct, anonymous questionnaires or face-to-face meetings, then we really engaged every team member in our executive team into making this team becoming better.
How did that lead to the next stage of the team effectiveness review that I think you conducted? Can you describe briefly what you did in that part of the process?
Well, we first agreed on a number of criteria. Then we graded the team, but then every individual against those criteria. And the grading was self, and it was also peer-based. And then we observed how this evolved over time. So it was very systemic, and most importantly, the parameters were agreed with the team. So no one felt like they were being exposed to a process that was imposed upon them. It was all part of the team wanted to deliver on what we had discussed as an ambition in Davos.
Is there anything you're taking away going forward from this experience of working with Egon Zehnder?
Perhaps a couple of key points. Number one is that openness to outside competence, outside interaction makes a team better. The second finding is process is crucial, even when it comes to human interaction. Even the famous EQ factor can be influenced by a process. And third is that a team evolves based on the ambition it has for itself. And framing that ambition was also one of the fundamental aspects of our work together with Egon Zehnder.